Howdy folks, I'm Neil and Gail is operating the camera and I'll be doing the video. Welcome to our family room, which is decorated with Western decor, and we're up here today to talk about this. My 80-year-old Simco Brand roping saddle. In 2000, my wife and I began a yearly tradition of spending our vacations riding horses at dude ranches in Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming. The saddles I rode varied from uncomfortable to downright painful. I decided I could buy a used saddle that fit me for a reasonable price. I found this older saddle on eBay. The seller said that he bought it from an old man who had ridden it in the 1940s and 50s. Most saddles are marked with the maker's name, but this one had no markings at all. I started looking for photographs of similar saddles and eventually discovered that it had been made by Simco. That company was formed in 1938 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It is still in business today, having merged with Longhorn, but their modern saddles are very different from the early versions. Here are a few photos of other early Simco saddles. This is a typical Simco marking. This square skirt Simco was sold by Sears Roebuck under their J.C. Higgins line. This is a small Simco pony saddle. This Simco hasn't been cared for properly and is dried out. This Simco is single rigged, that is, it is strictly for riding and there is no rear cinch. This one is almost a twin of mine, except this one has a leather covered wooden horn. My saddle has a 15.5-inch seat as measured from the base of the pommel to the base of the cantle. This is the only Simco saddle I've seen with a brass horn. Metal horns enjoyed a brief popularity with ropers because they were stronger than wood. The height and slope of the pommel and the shape of the gullet are peculiar to early Simcos. The height and slope angle of the cantle is another Simco identifying feature. Here's a saddle of a different manufacturer, and older saddles generally have what's called a pencil roll top to the cantle. But most later saddles use the Cheyenne roll at the cantle top. The way the leather at the rear of the cantle is reinforced and sewed is another Simco indicator. The style of stamping or embossing of the leather is a Simco characteristic. A dead giveaway to an early Simco is the use of a particular leather stamp that only appears once on the left and right side of my saddle, but may be used several times on others. Thin, plain steel circles used for rigging D-rings are a characteristic of early Simcos. This shape of the stirrup fenders is typical of early Simco saddles, and the stirrup leathers hanging outside the fenders is also characteristic. There are 4 sets of saddle strings on each side. They have leather conchos, and I added brass ones to complement the horn. The front saddle strings can hold a lasso in front of the rider's knee. The rear saddle strings do double duty by holding on a storm coat or slicker. The stirrup leathers are of the lace-up type, which require a lot of time and effort to adjust. This is another indication of their age. Because, since World War II, the Blevins quick-release buckle has been used to speed stirrup adjustment. The galvanized steel bands on the old stirrups were badly rusted and could injure the horse if they broke. I replaced the stirrups with a new pair that matched the brass theme. I bought these saddlebags new on eBay. They are held on by the rear saddle strings. Notice our family brand: Half Circle, Lazy N, Crazy G. The rear or flank cinch is heavy leather, not marked by a maker. It didn't come with a saddle, but has obviously been around for a long while. The new 32-inch Billy Cook front cinch is made of soft mohair. The color and embossing of this Billy Cook breast collar that I bought new go nicely with the saddle. I've ridden my saddle on several different horses since I acquired it. Here I am on Lippy in 2011. He got his name because he was constantly working his lower jaw. This is me and a horse called Draw in 2013. In 2014 I rode Choctaw. The last few years, my favorite ride has been Cody. We hope you found this video educational and informative. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you'll be notified of our future videos. And as always, thanks for watching.